Hi guys, thank you for tuning in. Today is an easygoing day, so I figured I'd make an easygoing video. I'm very bad about sketching and practicing my drawing skills, so I want to slow it down and sketch and chat with you guys. So grab your pencils, or you don't even have to follow along with me or even watch me for that matter. Just put me in the background while you do whatever you need to do. First of all, welcome to all my new subscribers. I'm very honored to have you join my little art space. Thank you for all the nice compliments. It's really encouraging. If you don't know me already, my name is Brittany Dominique, and I'm an acrylic artist for the most part. I love to paint, especially portraits. Drawing isn't my strong suit. I'll explain that later. Today I'm using some mechanical color pencils by Beak. I recently saw an artist sketching with these and I thought, I'd never seen mechanical color pencils before, so I grabbed myself some. They work just like a regular mechanical pencil, just with color. I figured it would help spark my interest in sketching. I've decided to sketch a few quick portraits from Pinterest, so I do have some references here. Don't think that I'm drawing off the top of my head. As I'm sketching, I'm using guidelines to kind of help me get proportions and placements right. I've learned before how to do the artist circle and the proper way to use guidelines when drawing the face or head, but I always forget and just end up making up my own or kind of eyeballing things. That's most likely why my drawings don't always look right. But I am kind of a self taught artist, so I've had to actively read and study art on my own time. And I don't always stick to what is considered the proper way to draw or paint, if that's a thing, like the proper techniques. I'm really just kind of feeling my way, which is not ideal necessarily, but it is what it is for now. So if anyone is thinking, why is she drawing like that? That's why. Now, I say I'm kind of a self-taught artist because I did have an art class in high school and I learned some technique from there, if I can remember it. But in an art class, you're not really doing your own thing. You're doing what the teacher wants you to do, like assignments and trying to appease them so you get a good grade. So I drew a lot of still life objects and things like that. Learning values, learning shadow and proportion and things like that. I think the last assignment we were able to draw whatever we wanted, but on that particular day, I actually forgot to select what I was going to draw. It was like so last minute. So Like on the way to school, I remembered, oh, I gotta pick something to draw today. So my dad always had a newspaper back then, and so I just looked through it trying to find a subject. And I found a really small portrait of Louis Armstrong playing a trumpet. And that was like not exactly the thing I wanted to draw. I just kind of went for it. I was like, okay, this will have to do. But yeah, I had a teeny tiny newspaper clipping in black and white, which I guess was ideal for a pencil drawing. And I just had to try my best with it. If I can find it, I'll add it to the screen somewhere. Now, my teacher didn't give me the best grade, saying I needed to like work on my dark areas, values essentially. But she did recommend me for AP art classes, and my art was featured in the school newspaper. So I guess it was okay. If anything, it really taught me not to be afraid to go dark if I need to. Um, and even in my art today, I always have to look back and be like, is this dark enough? Do I need to add more shadow, bump the contrast, if you will? Because those areas are just as important as, rendering the image itself. It really gives you a little bit more realism and really makes your image pop. So I guess I owe that teacher a little bit of thanks for not going easy on me. As an adult, I paid for a beginner paint class at a local community center. And again, the teacher there had specific things she wanted the class to do, none of which were what I wanted to do. She wanted us to be really loose and abstract and use different materials like sand and different paint mediums and to make the paint thicker and runny. And, that's all cool. And I tried, but it just wasn't my thing. Maybe I'm just a rebel or something. I just wanted to get the paint and just paint how I wanted to without having to change the paint too much. But I did enjoy painting within a group. Like we were in a big, large room with large windows, and the setting was just perfect for an artist. And it was just something about being there all together. It was really nice. This brings me back to my initial reason why I'm even here sketching with you guys. Just to to get me refreshed with these color pencils and get me really back into sketching, I gained an affinity to painting, and drawing just kind of ended up on the back burner. Like I'll pick up a brush before a pencil any day. Drawing just became kind of boring to me. But since I do portrait paintings, drawing is kind of important. I mean, technically, I could paint a portrait without drawing it first, but still, it's good to be able to draw a portrait, I think, and keep those skills up, especially when that is your forte and that's what you like to do. So, these color pencils are supposed to help me do that. And I must say, so far, I am really liking the switch from traditional graphite. I almost feel like I'm coloring, like in a coloring book, but I'm just sketching. And these particular color pencils or mechanical color pencils gives me the preciseness I need to sketch without having to sharpen or anything, because I have regular color pencils and Prismacolor pencils, but the tips get dull and you have to sharpen them, and if you don't have the right sharpener, they end up breaking, and those pencils are not cheap. So I don't want to have to keep sharpening them until they're like little nubs. So this is like a good alternative, and I don't have to worry about that. If it breaks, I just do a couple clicks and I have a pointed end again. This purple is like giving me life. Like I really love it. And you'll notice they have erasers. And on that greenish color, the eraser was pretty good. Like it erased almost completely. But with the purple and the other color that I'm going to be using, it is not so great. So you kind of have to be careful not to make anything too dark that you don't want dark already, because you're not really going to be able to erase with these. But then again, I don't know any color pencil erasers that like really work. I wasn't really expecting these to work very well, but they're okay. Let me know if you know a brand where the erasers like really work on color pencils. I started off cross-hatching her afro, and ended up like not really liking how it looked. But I feel like the cross-hatching does help you cover large areas, and much faster than just if I were to just color her afro in a different way. Um, I was able to color in and like go over that to make it less structured. But this is just a sketchbook, just trying to get her out there and on the page. One thing I noticed I do a lot with my portraits, and even with the sketches I'm doing, um, the eyebrows are always like super thick and bushy. Um, I guess because my eyebrows are like that. Hers don't look exactly right there. Don't look at it, okay? But my eyebrows are really thick, and I think subconsciously I apply it to my portraits because I don't think their eyebrows necessarily look like that in the references. But like on my face, nothing is very small. Like I have big eyebrows, I have big eyes, big nose. It's very prominent. So if that's the first thing I see on me, I don't have anything tiny about me, about my features. So I like to apply them to my drawings. Big features, maybe except the eyes, like are not necessarily seen as a beauty standard. Like everyone wants these things to be very small. And I guess, that rebel in me, I'm just gonna defy the beauty standard and represent in my art. I must admit, on this particular image, she has wavy curly hair, and I realized that I never really drawn wavy hair. Usually, if I'm gonna draw like curls, it's gonna be like tighter because that's how my hair is. So I'm drawn to women with very tight curls, or either that or it's just straight. So I've never really tackled someone with hair that's in like the 3A realm. So this was fun. This was a learning curve, and I'll have to practice more curly haired models in the future. So what do I think about these color pencils? I really like them. I definitely want to use them more in my sketches and in the future. So if you guys want to see more of these little sketches, let me know. It's actually very interesting because I say that I don't do a lot of sketching, but when I was looking for a page to do this particular sketch, it was hard to find one in my book. So I've been sketching a lot more than I realize. They're not always fully rendered. Sometimes they're literal stick people just to get my idea out of my brain, but the pages are covered for the most part. So I'm proud of myself for that. But considering that I've had both this large sketchbook and my little small black one for a few years, I guess I would expect that the pages would be filled at this point. So I do need to sketch more. It shouldn't take me years to fill up a sketchbook. Not that I'm counting or keeping track, but for myself, I would like to sketch more often. And I think I will. you made it this far, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope whatever task you were doing that you were able to complete it. This was a really fun exercise, and I'll continue this. I've seen a challenge, 100 head challenge, and I'm thinking about trying that one out. I don't know, I'd probably go crazy before I do all 100, but we'll see. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see in this channel. And you guys have a good day.